Hey, what's up, Grace Union Church? Man, we are so excited to be back in person together, man. Some of you so far have already joined us in person. We know some of you are making that decision right now. For those who still feel the need to worship from home, and we honor that decision on your part, we'll continue to gather with you online, on Facebook, and on YouTube. But for those who are ready or those who are considering a return to in-person services in the month of July, we want to let you know about a couple of adjustments that we're going to be making starting July 5th as we begin to journey back towards our new normal. And so there's a few things you need to know. First of all, our service times will remain the same. We're going to continue to gather at 9 and 11, both in person and online. But going forward, starting July the 5th, both services will now be masks recommended or masks optional. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a separate worship space now that's dedicated to be a mask required service that really kind of keeps in mind those who have maybe some higher risk needs or are just more comfortable knowing that they're surrounded by masked individuals. And so what will happen is beginning July the 5th, both services will have a mask required area that meets in the youth worship space. And so we've created a separate entrance coming from the side parking lot nearest the youth room. Will be a dedicated entrance for that space. It'll be a mask required entrance. Everyone coming in there needs to have a mask. Everyone meeting in the worship space in the youth room will be required to have a mask. That area will have its own dedicated bathrooms as well as its own separate HVAC system so that even the air circulating will not be mixing with the rest of the building. And so we feel like this is a great solution to keep people as safe as we possibly can while making options available for everyone. So beginning July the 5th, both the 9 and 11 o'clock service in the main auditorium will be masks optional, and then the youth worship space will be masks required. And so we want to do our best to honor everybody in this season, love everybody, and make Jesus as available as we can make him to everybody. There's going to be some changes. Many of you have begun to ask, when will our kids services return? Well, beginning in July, we're going to have 2 soft opening experimental service days for our kids. And so the 2nd and 4th Sunday in July, that's July the 12th and the 26th, we'll be having a soft opening in our kids area. And here's what that means. That means during the 11 o'clock service only on those 2 Sundays, we'll have kids for preschool age and elementary age. Those smaller guys, the younger guys and girls, the snugglers will need to stay with mom and dad in the adult service for now as we experiment. We're doing our best to launch things kind of one at a time so that we can experiment, do our best to keep things clean and safe, and then we can always step it back if we need to. And so that's what we're going to do. There's going to be a lot of precautions, people spread out, socially distanced. There'll be limits to the number of kids we'll be able to have in those rooms, as well as cleaning mechanisms and all these other things like that. Play structures will be shut down. Common use video games will not be available during that time either. But the 2nd and 4th Sunday in July, in the 11 o'clock service, we will have some things going on, especially for those kiddos, for that preschool age and those elementary kids. We're so excited about that. Also beginning in July, our Wednesday night youth program will begin to come back. And so 7 o'clock on Wednesdays in July, we'll have a series of outdoor events in Wednesday for our students. And so students can arrive at 7. Masks are optional. They'll be available if anybody wants them, but we'll be doing some outdoor water type events during July. And then finally, this coming Wednesday night, July the 1st at 7, we're going to have a leadership and volunteer meeting for anyone who serves, leads, or volunteers in any way at Grace Union Church. We're going to be meeting in the auditorium, and we're going to just go over what we know so far and what we don't know about the return of all the rest of our ministry efforts, small groups, and events. And so we look so forward as we journey together to figure out what it looks like to serve Jesus to the best of our abilities in this season. So join us for that meeting. Join us on Sundays. We're so excited to celebrate Jesus and gather with you.